Peace, 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 family. You are now listening to G Consciousness. And man, we're going to be dealing with this brother's priorities today. Khonso shezmu. We're going to deal with his priorities today. I had a conversation with the brother, man, and with the people on this panel, man, and we'll go through it. We'll let you listen to it, where I came in at and basically what was going on and the whole thing basically, because the brother Khonso got his priorities out of order. So we're gonna have to deal with the brother's priorities today. It's a big thing that we have to deal with due to the fact of it's an overall thing, not just him as an individual that he's doing, but also internationally. The same thing this individual is doing is the same thing that's going on within all human beings. And we have to govern ourselves and be able to control the appetites of the flesh. Man. This is titled Khonso shezmu. Let's deal with your priorities. So we got some priorities to deal with. We definitely got some priorities to deal with. Let's look up a couple of things real quick and deal with a couple of terms and see what the deal is. I know we got most of the majority of people watching the SOS Synagogue of Satan is Fallen event, but I still had to do this event before it get too late. Let's look up the brother's name real quick. Let's start with his name. Let's start with shezmu's name. We're gonna show y'all that even when you're dealing with the brother's name, it's a shame. We're gonna show y'all that this very brother is a clown. Look it up real quick. Just look it up real quick. So, as we see, the name shezmu, right? I mean, Khonso. Also, Khonsu, Khonshu is the ancient Egyptian god of the moon. His name means traveler, right? So we see that the brother's name means traveler, but we're going to deal with the other part of his name. And this may relate to the night travel of the moon across the sky. Along with thought, he marked the passage of time. Khonso was instrumental in creation of new life in all living creatures. This brother is a traveler, but he's not living up to the latter part of this text, far as creation of new life in all living creatures. This brother is basically causing death within the community with his very own words. Yes. So that's the first portion of his name. Let's deal with shezmu. See what this is about. Shezmu. Shezmu, alternatively, shezmu is an ancient Egyptian deity with an extremely contradicting character. He was worshipped since the early Egyptian or Old Kingdom. So we see this. Shezmu was seldomly depicted as if so he appeared as a man with a lion's head holding a butcher's knife, and latter times he appeared as a lion. If only his name was mentioned It often appeared with the determinative of oil press. Sometimes or only the oil press was depicted, right? Shezmu was a god with a pretty contradicting personality. At one side, he was Lord of Perfume, marker of all precious oil, Lord of the oil press, Lord of ointment, and Lord of wine. He was some kind of party and celebration deity. Likewise, to the goddess Meret, Old Kingdom texts mention a special feast celebrated for Shezmu. Young men would press grapes with their feet and then dance and sing for Shezmu. And we know Shezmu loved them grapes. We know he loved them grapes. He liked the divine with grapes. He loves food. We're going to deal with that. We're going to deal with the lust of the flesh, the pride of life, and the lust of the eyes. Those three things. And we're going to break those three things down. And we're going to show you the shezmu, the traveling contradiction, once again, will be proven to be a contradicting lie. He ain't traveling light. He traveling heavy. Because y'all know he got the weight on him. He's not traveling light at all. We're going to deal with that too. We're going to deal with the lust of his flesh. We're going to show you the shezmu, Khonso, the traveling contradiction that can't make up his mind, is a walking contradiction. Watch what it says. Let's continue on. It says, on the other hand, however, Shezmu was very vindictive and bloodthirsty. Just the name you choose to name yourself after Shezmu, Khonso. We might as well call you Khan Soup, because we know you like to eat everything in your sight that's moving. You attack like piranhas on food. We know it. You got the jittles and the fiddles right now. You was jiddling and fiddling when you was doing the show. You probably was in the background popping Pop-Tarts and corn curls and jujus and all types of stuff. But we're going to deal with that. We're going to deal with your priorities and your lust of the flesh, because we know you got to have it. We know. Because y'all know when shezmu get done and when it gets said, he's going to be the first that's going to turn on you when times get short. When there is a need to feed, shezmu is going to run up on you and take all your calories that you're dealing with. Every bag of food that you owned, the land that produces the food, he's going to take it. Why? Because he has to feed his flesh. And he needs them calories. He needs those calories. This is the way of the world. The lust of the flesh has to feed and eat in order to survive. And if there is no food, shezmu, Khonso, will run up on you and take what you got. We're going to prove that, though. I'm going to show you why we're going to prove that. Watch it. Because he ain't trying to get on no calorie diet. No, he's trying to preserve the flesh. He's in the lust of the flesh. We're going to deal with that. We're going to deal with his priorities today. It says, however, watch this. This is his name, y'all. Shezmu. Now remember, the first portion of his name means means traveler. So he is a traveling contradiction. Watch this. He traveling, but he traveling light. Traveling heavy. He ain't traveling light. Remember, I said that. It says Shezmu was very vindictive and bloodthirsty. He was Lord of blood, great slaughterer of the gods, he who dismembers bodies. Only bodies that he is dismembering is chickens and turtles, pork, probably vegetable bodies, cattle, sheep. Those the bodies that he is bloodthirsty for. Because remember, he needs those calories. Watch this. He need that. He need it. In the Old Kingdom pyramid text, several prayers ask Shezmu to dismember and actually cook. Underline cook right there. Underline cookout. Because the first thing Shezmu invited me to was a cookout. Remember, he needs those calories. Watch this. Watch him. Underline cook. Shezmu to dismember and actually cook certain deities in an attempt to give the food to the deceased king. But we know Shezmu is a contradiction. So he's not giving no food to no deceased king. He gonna get that food himself because he has to preserve his flesh. This is Khonso, y'all. This is Khonso, and we're gonna get to it. We're gonna show y'all. The deceased kings needs the divine powers to survive and dangerous journeys to the stars. However, it remained open if the word blood has to be taken verbatim, because the ancient Egyptians symbolically offered red wine as the blood of the gods to several deities. This occasion was based simply on dark red color of wine and circumstances that led to connection of Shezmu with other deities who appeared in red colors. Examples include deities such as Ra, Horus, and I don't know how to say that word, but it is. The violent character of Shezmu made him become a protector amongst the companions of Ra, Nocturnal Bark. Shezmu protected by Ra by threatening the demons and brawling at them. In the pyramid text, he does similar things. So once again, 1 minute Shezmu is with it, or Khonso, the traveling contradiction. He's with it 1 minute. He can't decide whether or not he want to be good or bad, whether or not he want to engage in intellectual conversations or foolish conversations. This is Khonso, the traveling contradiction. Notice that his name is associated with contradiction and also food. Why? Because Shezmu has to feed the lust of the flesh, and he will do it at the hand of his brother. Yeah, he's a snake. This is Khonso. We're dealing with Khonso's priorities. Remember, he is a traveling contradiction that loves to cook and also deals with food. Remember, he got to eat. We ain't talking about rallies, but he still got to eat. Right? So we see that this brother, Khonso, has a problem with the lust of the flesh. We're going to deal with that. And we're just scrambling a little bit, rambling a little bit, but we're going to get to the premise. Because we're going to deal with this brother. So we just broke down the brother's name. Okay. Let me tell y'all the problem with this brother. Let's deal with his priorities. Now, we had a conversation, right? And the conversation was in regards due to the fact of these brothers making a show live talking about the biblical text, right? So I'm looking at the brothers, right? I'm hearing them. So one of the guys say, well, maybe we can get one of them in here so we can see from their perspective. So I hit Khonso up. I said, let me get on the panel. Now, with me getting on the panel, the brothers got real chaotic. Before I came in, I heard the sister say, nah, I can't be on the panel with him and all this crazy stuff. Never done anything to this sister. Matter of fact, this sister added me on Facebook. I never knew this sister. Never requested to be her friend. She added me on Facebook, right? Requested me. I added her. Why did she request me? I don't know. Because if you don't like me, stay up off my page and also stay up off my life, right? Never, right? So then she clicked up with Team Osiris because they looking to basically recruit. They recruit anybody, basically. Anybody get put on the team, I guess. You know what I'm saying? You got a homosexual on there by the name of Melvin. This brother, man, he's not a Christian, but he has on his profile picture agape love, right? So we already know what this is dealing with from the get-go. So this is foolery. So let's go on, let's dig in what we're gonna dig in. Let's go to what I'm looking for. Cause we ain't gonna play no games with it. I'm gonna show y'all this brother Khonso and show y'all that this brother ain't got his priorities in order. We're gonna deal with this. We gonna deal with this. All right, so let's do this like this. Let's jump over here. I don't know what's taking this thing so long to load up. Don't know what's taking it so long to load up. It may not be.
Okay, come on, let's talk about it then.
Love. This is kind of an impromptu show, everybody out there. This is a Team Osiris special airing that we're having. This is your boy Khonso.
All right, so
Shezmu Moon. We got Kufu.
Let me do this real quick. I'm sharing this wrong. I'm sharing that wrong.
Team Osiris. We have
like
the Hebrew Killer, Garfield. We have the Archivist, the Grand Archivist of Team Osiris, the brother Melvin. We have an esteemed guest who is, well, we'll just say he's a hired killer. This is the brother Ahmed.
Look at these brothers. Now, if y'all heard these brothers, listen to them.
She stepped away for a minute with Team Offset. I had a small conversation with a couple of Hebrews.
Now, first off, just listen to this brother, man. This brother is 40-something years old, right? A little bit older, possibly, right? Just listen to him, right? Now, this brother, 40-something years old, and as you can see, he is calling people the Hebrew killer or a hired Hebrew killer. This ain't your average 40-something years old right here. I just want y'all. I want to point that out to y'all. I'm gonna show y'all, and we're gonna deal with this clown's priorities. Watch this.
We are descended from a man. It's to have you wait for a God.
So that being the case, how is that? How is that acceptable?
Yeah. I just want to say, Khonso.
Go ahead.
On the continent,
So we took natural symbols and created totems and motifs out of them. But we knew they were totems and motifs.
And
I
he
just
lying.
wanted to comment on accessible. People will be
No, they'll never admit it though. Something in some street vernacular, I did not better or superior because being superior is a form of pride.
Now watch this.
We're actually here tonight talking about your.
Now this is me coming in. Now I'm hearing these brothers talk, right? And so I come in, I'm like, check these brothers out, right? I'm checking them out. I'm listening to them. Now, mind you not, they didn't give themselves all these titles. Now, I don't know who this other brother is with the Africa symbol on his thing, but he's ignorant. All I know is we could just call him ignorance. I know all the people, the rest of the people on this panel, right? This brother, first of all, come in talking about how he disliked the Hebrews, right? And all of this other stuff that he's talking, whatever the case may be. Now, y'all know me. I'm not a Hebrew, but I deal with the biblical text. But he's also talking about religious believers just as well. So he's already categorized himself and also categorized those who's dealing with religion. So then he says, let's not get personal. But then this is the one that asked somebody to be on the panel. So let's listen to these clowns and let's listen to the power of the traveling contradiction, which means Khonso shezmu. And also, he's a cooker. He likes to cook. Whenever you see him, he's going to have on that apron with a Mason symbol on it. But let's go.
Yes, how about you today?
Hey, I'm not a Hebrew though.
You are a Hebrew.
No, I'm not a Hebrew, bro. I don't know why you keep saying that. Why do you say that?
Well, you know what? You're right. You're not a Hebrew. You're a Christian. You're right.
Exactly.
You're right, brother.
Is there really a difference?
You say what?
He still believe that Bible bullshit. He still believe that Bible bullshit. So it don't make no difference anyway.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not. There's a big difference for the most.
Now, mind you, not it gets personal now because he said you still believe in the Bible BS, so it's personal. But remember, they asked for why don't we get one of them on her, so I came on there to explain the viewpoint of the biblical text. Now, watch how I confound these idiots, man. They idiots, man, and they justify white supremacy for doing what they do to us with the stuff that they speak. These are clowns, especially Khonso, man. He's the foolish one out of them all. It's something about an old fool. It just irks my soul, man. Watch this.
For as when it deals with what my identity is, and which is the biblical text. You know what I'm saying? Whereas most people walk around here, they say they Hebrew Israelites, they say they Africans, but in reality, like y'all on here talking about the Hebrew Israelites, right? And y'all talking about them as if we all ain't in the same condition. And I think that's kind of crazy for reals, because really, to be honest, to be for reals, the big picture here, and we can all agree with, is the problem is with all human beings in general is the lust of the eyes, the pride of life, and the lust of the flesh. Would y'all on this panel agree to that?
No.
No.
Hey,
LeRon, hold on.
Now y'all see him, right? Now y'all see they all said no, right? Except I think Courtney and the brother Amen. Too common. He remained calm. He didn't say anything. Smart, wise, brother. Because these some dummies. I'm gonna line them all up. We're gonna line these dummies all up, man. Watch this. Big dummies. That's what they is. Big dummies. Watch this.
Hold on, LeRon, before you go on though, can I ask you a question?
Now hold on. No, you can't ask me a question. Let me ask you a question. Why do you continue to put that profile suit up or that profile picture up from 5 years ago and then with them goggles on? Why do you do it? You can't ask me anything with that sticker butter suit on, bro. None of that. You can't ask me a question and you see that the top of your hairline is like this and you ain't got no hat on and you think you fly as ever. I don't want to hear no questions at all. And is that makeup on your nose? Don't ask me nothing, Garfield. We need to put together a petition for this brother to retire this profile picture and this goddamn suit that he keep wearing, because I'm sick of it, man. Look at him. He has no neck, and therefore, you see, he has no collar shirt on. He should have wore a collar shirt. Maybe it would have sufficed for him not having a neck. Then at least fool me and make me think you got a neck. But you just no collar shirt on up out of the suit. Let's continue on. Don't ask me nothing until you change that profile picture, because we seen the real you. And it ain't a singing thing to be singing. Let's go.
Yes, you can. It has to do with the whole gematria. What I don't know if I pronounce the
Look
word
at him,
right.
man.
Um, gematria and the code in the Bible. Do you believe? Finish. Respond first.
Yeah. Let me
Right. So you
respond.
guys said you don't agree with that. You guys said you don't agree with that, right? Now, first off, when we look at man in general, we talk about the lust of the eyes. One lusting due to the fact of what they want, right? Or them looking through the perception or the gates of their soul, which is the eyes, to be aware of something which makes them aware to crave what they want. When we talk about the lust of the flesh in regards to that too, we see that happening. Then we talk about also, which is the lust of the flesh, which one may take something or lust with his flesh, or taking other men's woman due to the fact of the lust of his eyes, and also cohesive with the lust of his flesh. And then when we talk about also the pride come in due to the fact of one being prideful, uh, of wanting to take somebody's stuff, or being boastful of actually what he has, basically. So we're looking at these three things that we look at. This our world view that we see now is even the things that we can see that the white man is doing because he's prideful, because a lot of things that he do not need, but a lot of things that he say that he got, that he feels that he's better or superior, because being superior is a form of pride just as well over the next people. And he feels also that he can get whatever his eyes and whatever his soul lust for. So these three things, if you break these things down, these are the things that we are dealing with overall in our society. Because you can have the science, you can have all these great things, but if your morality or these three things are not balanced, what happens is you begin to be overtaken with sex deeds that we see now. So when you look at it, now Ashtar is the pride of life, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, the main problem within our society. You guys said no. That just let me know that you guys are not actually viewing our world as we see it to exist today. Because let me finish. Let me finish. That Khonso said something. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. That Khonso said something earlier because I was listening. He talked about for us dealing with a book. Now, I find it odd that you guys have a problem with a book, but he.
Let's break this down real quick. Now, we're going to look up a couple of things. Now, we're going to show you that once again, this brother Khonso is a lie and is a contradiction. But watch what he's going to do. It's going to shock y'all what he's going to do. Let's jump to it. See, this has to stop, people. This has to stop. Because, see, while I'm sitting back thinking about a plan to come about the situation, he's thinking about Skittles and Pop-Tarts and Twinkies and, steaks and all of these things. He's cooking up stuff on the grill. He's a chef. He's the walking contradiction. He's traveling with it, but he's not traveling. Understand this. He's not traveling light. That boy got that frying pan, that he got the hot plate in the back of his book bag. He heavy, so we know he ain't traveling light because we know he heavy. Whole bottles of syrup in the bag with a stick of butter in the cooler. Whole stick of butter, bruh. You eat the whole stick of butter in 1 hour? We're going to deal with your priorities. Let's watch this. Lust is an emotion or feeling of intense desire in the body, right? Let's define the word lust. An emotion or feeling of intense desire in the body. Now, he went to say that lust deals with a Christian or a religious aspect, and it does, but let's look at the overall picture. A lot of words that we define today are words that come from, guess what? Religion aspects, right? Even some of your scientific stuff. Don't let them fool you. Like when you look up the word legal, which he used, but once again, he's an idiot. But this is how he tries to divert. Because remember, Khonso is a shezmu, which means a traveling contradiction. It likes to cook, it likes to eat. Because remember, the lust of the flesh, he gotta feed that big body. Gotta get them calories. Because if he don't get them calories, that body is going to begin to, right here, lust. It's going to crave something. Watch this. The lust can take any form such as the lust for sex. Just like when the lust take a form and somebody, you can have a lustful sex, which you can lust for something that is good or lust for something that is bad. To lust for a child that's 2 years old and you grown is bad. So let's continue to deal with this word lust as it is in the dictionary. Khonso, the traveling contradiction. I think you wanted to be a mason due to the fact of the aprons. You like to cook. You was the chef, so they let you in the lodge. That's what really happened. You was cooking it up with them bubble thighs and bubble arms. You fluffy son of a, excuse me. So lust is an emotion of intense desire in the body. Lust can take any form such as such as the lust for sex, lust for expensive objects. So we see that this lust can deals with expensive objects, extravagance, or the lust of power. Whoa, the lust for power. Come on, man. This is relative to what we're dealing with today. Because remember, I told y'all that white supremacy and also any supremacy, but mainly who are over us now, white supremacy has lusted for expensive objects, extravagance, or the lust for power. This is common sense. We got a surprise for you, shezmu, because you are a traveling contradiction, Khonso. Watch this. And he loves to cook. We're going to keep making that point because he gotta feed his flesh. He gotta get them calories. I'm telling you, it can take such mundane forms as the lust for food. Whoa, we just got through dealing with a cookout when you look up the word shezmu. Because remember, he gotta feed that big body. So we see that he's lusting for the food. And when one is lusting for the food and the food is low, then you know the lust of the flesh gonna speak out, especially if you big like Khonso and you see that them calories when you ain't eating gonna leak out. You gotta eat and you gotta feed that flesh. He's in the crib, there's nothing to eat. He looked to the left, he looked to the right, look in the refrigerator, walking across the floor all night, but he ain't got the money. And something real funny, because when he look out the window, he sees somebody with a burger in their hand.